two big issues that came up this week. One is the announcement by the government that premiums for the healthcare exchanges are scheduled to go up in 2017. David, can you tell us a little bit about what we learned about the Obamacare and the cost issues, and how you think that's going to impact the race at this point?
So in a normal election, with a normal Republican on the other side, this would have been a very bumpy week for the Democrats, because this is something that sounds horrible and it's easy to explain. And it's going to happen right now. So what this affects is basically people who buy their health insurance through the Obamacare exchanges. Now, about 70% of those people, they're actually going to receive government subsidies that leave them more or less, no worse off. The people who are going to suffer are, say, self-employed people who earn too much money to get government subsidies, but they still buy their insurance through the exchanges. Now, they are going to be worse off because the premiums are rising, and they're basically rising because the people who've turned up to sign up for Obamacare through the exchanges turn out, on the whole, to be sicker than the insurance companies were expecting. There's slightly fewer of them, and the ones who've signed up are the ones who really need healthcare, and they need it because they're sicker. So they're a worse business proposition. The government kind of knew this was going to happen. The big interesting argument that will sort of last beyond the election is whether this is kind of a death spiral for Obamacare. My colleagues who are kind of up to their eyeballs in spreadsheets tell me it isn't. It's kind of bumpy, but it's not the death of Obamacare. But in political terms, if Donald Trump, to say it again, were a more disciplined campaigner, this would be a really useful rallying cry for him. And you can see him when he's reading off his teleprompter, he starts citing the numbers and they don't sound great. And certainly down ballot Republicans who are desperate to have an argument that sounds like a kind of traditional government messes stuff up, we're going to give the private sector a chance to kind of work with ordinary Americans. They love this. And you'll see, for example, the Koch brothers network, which has been spending big on the down ballots, ignoring the presidential races. They've been kind of getting some pushback until recently because they've been running tons of ads about Obamacare. And sort of smarty pants strategists were saying, why are you talking about Obamacare? That's the last election's issue. Now those people are saying, you see, we're not so stupid because actually this resonates with voters. The problem is that you have a presidential ticket that is incapable of kind of capitalizing on this stuff.